Me. What's wrong with the world? I'm on time. Almost. Only 1 minute late. Hello, everybody. Hopefully this is working. Go ahead and chat hello so I know it's not just me and my husband joking around. My cats and my dogs. I'll say good morning. So while I wait for more hellos, I wanted to let you know this is a Q&A live stream that I'm doing all about your energy questions or issues that you have about your sleep and your mornings and waking up. Any sort of questions or discussion like that. And my name is Janet Wright, and I am an energy healer, reader, and teacher. And so I teach pro-level energy healing to people and pro-level reading to people so that they can read themselves and heal themselves every day as much as they want, because it's an amazing luxury to be able to do that, and you can learn that for sure. And then if you want, you can heal your kids or your siblings or whatever, or someday if you want, you could become a pro healer as well, pro healer reader. So I'm getting my hellos. This is very exciting. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put my glasses on for this. Yeah. Put my reading glasses on. Okay, good afternoon, good afternoon. Yes, it is afternoon for me even. Good afternoon from Texas. Good morning. Yeah, it's not good morning anymore for you. Good afternoon. Like, please. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. I always forget. Even though we did a live stream like 20 minutes ago and I was talking about it then. So yeah, please give this a thumbs up if you already like it. If you don't like it already, I don't mean to presume. But as soon as you start liking it, please do give it a thumbs up so that YouTube might suggest this to other people, even live like right now. And that would be exciting and cute. Or later, they'll just value the video more. So, and if you're watching later as a video, also please give it a thumbs up. Hello. All right, cool. Well, so now is the time if you have questions or, yeah, really just questions. It's a Q&A. So you ask questions and I answer them. So that's how this works. So if you have questions about the evening, your sleep, or getting to sleep, staying asleep, waking up in the morning, your morning in general, your energy level in the mornings, anything like that would be good. And if there's ever a lull, I do have some, I have some client questions about that kind of topic I could whip out if there's a lull, but there probably won't be. Someone says, we watch your live streams on our TV, hitting the like button. Yay. Yeah, it's funny when you watch it on a TV, it's like so big. I woke up at 10:30-ish, so, oh yeah, that's true. So it could feel like morning for you. That's right. Hi, you got some feedback from speakers. Yeah. Well, it's not feedback necessarily. It's just noise from my laptop. My laptop has been on for a while, and so the fan comes on. And plus there's noise from my husband making breakfast. So yeah, this will be noisy. My dogs walk around. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's not something that's fixable for me. It's just like a small fan sound. That's my laptop, which I'm using to film. So there you go. I have a question. I'm going to sleep easily and waking up better, thank you, but my dreams have been really weird and nightmarish. Okay, so great question. So dreams, I would categorize sort of in 3 different categories. One is body dreams. I call them body dreams. And those are just your physical body trying to clear energy as it sleeps. And your brain tends to turn it into stories. And so as it clears those energy blocks. And if it's a bigger energy block that maybe there's a lot of resistance around it or cords from somebody holding it in place, it becomes like a larger narrative in that body dream. And so nightmares are just stuck energy. They're just body dreams, stuck energy in your body that your brain is turning into a story. And since it's kind of stuck and everything, your body sort of sends little distress signals to your spirit, and so your spirit comes in enough to like be conscious of that as a dream that you know you're having, you know. And so that's a nightmare, but it's just energy blocks. So what you do is just clear those energy blocks, you know, right when you wake up from a nightmare. That would be a nice time to just, you know, imagine the energy blocks like bricks out in front of you and just melt them away. You know, imagine any energy blocks that are, and you don't have to know where they are, just imagine them out in front of you and just melt them with gold light. And just imagine a whole bunch more of nightmare energy blocks and just melt them away with gold light. A bunch more, melt them away with gold light. I mean, ideally, it's nice to do that before you sleep, but, you know, whatever. You know, sometimes you just, there's some stuff that was stuck and your brain made it into a nightmare, and just clear it later when you wake up. But that's all it is. Then there are real astral experiences, like, you know, you meet with your angels, or you do prep work for, you know, a group healing with your angels, you know, that you're about to have, or like big important things tend to happen in advance on the astral, like a job interview, or, you know, a funeral or something. There will be an astral version of that happens way in advance. That's a real experience. Nightmares feel real, but they are not real, actually. It's just your brain making a story out of an energy block that's in your body. Body's energy system. But there are real astral experiences, but, you know, those are different. What you're having is just body dreams. Those are just energy blocks. And then the third category I would say is a message dream, where it may be a little bit of a body dream or a little bit of an astral experience, but your angels are specifically helping you to remember it in order to, you know, help you learn something. So that's what I would call a message dream. And those are sort of angel assisted. And there is something that you can kind of reflect upon, you know, versus just clear it, move on. There may be, you know, a message in that for you, about, you know, something you need to change, or, you know, but in your case, it's probably just energy blocks. So somebody else is waking up at 3 a.m. when I normally get up at 4:45, but I'm waking up wide awake. You mentioned something about me being in a class on the astral realm. Could you speak more about that? Okay. So yeah, it's very common that people, I think I did talk about it in one of the previous live streams, but yeah, you can have astral classes. That's very common, you know, because you can learn all sorts of great things from your angels in your sleep. And it could be an astral class about writing, for example, or creativity, something that is really near and dear to your heart and soul, that you're taking this class on the astral. Often when an astral class is done, not all of them, but some of them that really have to do with manifesting and bringing, you know, energy forth in your life, sometimes it's common that you'll wake up at the end of that class and maybe you're just awake and you go to the bathroom and you just, you know, come back and, you know, within 5-10 minutes you're asleep again, you know, but you bring in new energy from that class during that wake up time. So it has a purpose. And as you're bringing in new energy, it does kind of wake you up, because bringing in energy is what you do when you normally wake up for the day. So it could turn on your body's Kundalini. Just because you're bringing in a lot of new energy, your body might be like, oh, we should do something now. We're bringing in energy, you know? So you kind of have to counteract that. Just turn your Kundalini chakra back off, you know, just be gentle and calm, but just, you know, like lots of gold light, and just, because your Kundalini chakra should be a nice red color. And it's possible that it's kind of blackened and it has a lot of crusty energy on it, which just energy blocks, and that would make it harder for you to control your own Kundalini chakra. So then once it turns on, you can't turn it off like a broken faucet or something, you know. So just naturally, you know, and during your normal daily meditations, just heal your first chakra, but also your Kundalini chakra, and they should both be in a red color. Ideally, I feel that those are good vibrations, nice and low but still rainbowy, so it's flowing and appropriate. So red for your first chakra, red for your Kundalini chakra right beneath it. I do have a video that probably a couple actually, on both your first chakra and your Kundalini chakra. You could just search Janet Wright Kundalini chakra. I'll spell it out. So anyway, that's the idea, is just, and also that 7th and 3rd. I don't think you need that though, the person that questioned. I think it's just that when you come in and bring in new energy, you know what you could do too is that video, you can do it even just during the day, that call back, bring in video. So you search Janet Wright, call back, bring in to find that one. And that'll help you bring in, say, the stuff from the writing class you're taking on the astral, or the class on abundance you're taking on the astral, or the class on empowerment that you're taking on the astral, or boundaries with your family. You know, there could be really good stuff that you're learning on the astral. You want to be able to bring that in. And the more you actively bring it in your meditations and during your day, the less important it is to wake up immediately after the astral class is over. So you could actually remove the need of waking up at all at 3 a.m. or whenever it is, you know, by just doing that callback bring in video regularly, and also the Kundalini chakra and first chakra healing, so that then, you know, if by chance you do wake up, you can calm your first chakra down, your Kundalini chakra and your first chakra down very easily, and go back to sleep. So I would say those two videos are the best way to start working on that. The callback bring in for sure, and also the Kundalini chakra, any of my Kundalini chakra videos, just to repair and heal that chakra more, so it's red and flowing, and you can turn it off and turn it on when you want. Okay. I wake up feeling like a group of people are on top of and around me. It takes me a while to shake them off. They keep reattaching. It's funny. Those seem to be baby spirits. Like they're human being spirits, but they're, you know, I don't know if you're a mom or you work around a lot of babies, or you maybe are considering becoming a mom or something, or what. But women, it happens with more than men typically, although men can get strong urges to have kids. But with women, I don't know, I guess since all the action happens in the female body, you know, you know, um, spirits that are sort of campaigning to have you as their mommy, you know, human being spirits like you and me, but that are in heaven, you know, they can come and campaign, you know, like, oh, you'd be the best mom and I'd be the best kid for you. Oh man, I'm interested in what you're interested in. This would be great. You know, don't you think? And not all baby spirits are invasive like that, but that can definitely happen. Sometimes if you have like an itch on one of your eyes in particular, that can be a baby spirit just kind of bugging you, like right here. I mean, regular spirits bug you, but that's not what's happening with you. I think it's just, these are human being spirits that don't have to be invasive like that. You know, you could have your angels just round them all up and, you know, take them back to heaven, you know, because even if you are considering being a mom or being a mom to more children, you know, there's no need to lose your sleep over that. So I think that the people around you are people in heaven that want to become new people. Want, you know, so, you know, that's my quick read on it, is just, yeah, there are people around you, but they're baby spirits, you know, that are campaigning. So you can use vacuum boxes, really. Vacuum boxes, you know, I guess, I think the angels often tell me to use them for, you know, like invasive beings, you know, just around you, but they can work for people too. Like if, you know, your brother's in your space, or your neighbor, you know, or your boss, you know, you can make vacuum boxes. We talked about those in the live stream, the healing live stream we just did too. You just imagine clear and gold boxes around you that you make, that when you turn on your remote control, they turn into little vacuums, and so they suck up all the little spirits that are bugging you, like baby spirits or whatever they are, and then, you know, they'll like fill up in maybe like 20 seconds or 30 seconds, and then you just say, angels, can you please recycle all these vacuum boxes? And they'll know not to, you know, to just deliver the little baby spirits back to heaven. And maybe give them a little talking to about being more respectful. You can, if you want to, say with your mind, you know, hey, I only want to have respectful children, by the way. Yeah. That should make them scatter too. All right, somebody else says, thank you for the session. I often seem to get enough hours of sleep, but will feel exhausted throughout the day. Any idea about why this is happening, or more importantly, what I can do about it? Well, in general, there are several ways that question can go and intuitive things you could ask yourself, which I did a little bit quickly right now, but just for everybody, because you can be depleted because of just energy blocks. You can be depleted, which you can clear, and then your chakras work better, so then they can generate more energy for you. You can be depleted because of you have leaks in your energy system, so your energy is leaking out. You can be depleted because you're carrying other people's burdens and they're kind of weighing you down. You can be depleted even on a physical level because, like, oh, we didn't do Wei Qi aura healing in the live stream. Oh, boo. Anyway, I just remembered we did so much then though. But yeah, we didn't do Wei Qi aura healing in today's live stream. But there is I'll type it out too, Wei Qi aura healing. There's a Wei Qi aura healing video, so you could just search Wei Qi aura healing Janet Wright. But that is one way of helping your boundaries of you as a spirit so that you can't get depleted. Because if you have leaks, big holes and gashes in these Wei Qi auras, that can allow invasive energy to kind of get in and hang out and kind of block you up and weigh you down. So all that could add up to even a physical depletion, like in your meridians and, of your physical body. So you can address that more with a physical treatment like acupuncture, Chinese herbs, but also energy healing on your meridians would help your physical body. But with you in particular, yeah, I think if you do GV and CV meridian healing, that could be nice. GV meridian and CV meridian healing. You could search CV meridian, GV meridian, Janet Wright, and that would get you all the videos you need. But anyway, those are like two main meridians, and like one's the main yin meridian, one's the main yang meridian. You have a lot of meridians, but those are kind of, they help manage all of the meridians. So it's kind of a way to cheat and just heal two of them that heals the whole system. So I would say your exhaustion is due to like those meridians are too thin and they leak too much. So you don't have enough of a robust kind of powerhouse in your physical body. Also, there's a video, 7th and 3rd chakra tune-up. And we did that a lot in today's healing. We worked on the 7th chakra and the 3rd chakra connections. So later, if someone wanted to find that, when you don't know what today is anymore, because you're seeing this 2 months later, you just search sleep and mornings, because it had sleep and mornings in the title. So Janet Wright, sleep and mornings, and you'll see there was a live stream that we just did today that has archangel messages, but also we worked these connections between the spirit and the body, because the person asking this, they have like their connections even after this healing, the healing they got today, they're a little too thin and compressed. They're better than they were, but they need to be wider and more, have more energy flow, and that can help your spirit kind of continue to pump up your body throughout the day. So I would say the GVCV meridian healing and also the 7th and 3rd chakra tune-up video would be good for that. I think too, though, your grounding blocks up during the day. So you can just double check that. Like I think, in the morning, maybe the first like 3 hours, you have a nice wide grounding that's flowing well. But then even by noon, your grounding is like half that size and half blocked. And then by like 3 or 4 o'clock, it's like pretty thin. It's as thin as your hips and it's very blocked. So even just that is like the simplest thing you could do to, help your fatigue, is just to redo your grounding. Maybe like a tricolor earth energy soak. That's a super simple process. Bring up red earth energy, soak in it, bring up orange earth energy, soak in it, bring up yellow earth energy and soak in it. And that just kind of flushes things out and makes sure you have a nice wide grounding. So yeah, those 3 things: 7th and 3rd chakra tune-up, the tricolor earth energy soak, the GV and CV meridians of your physical body, healing those. Also, actually, yeah, I think even for that commenter, but in general for various people, you can use a light therapy lamp. And I didn't really think I needed one, but this winter I've been using one, and it really helps me. It's nice. I didn't think I needed one because I don't get depressed in the winter, even when we have a lot less sunlight. But it just helps like my get up and go a little bit. I mean, not like every day I have a ton of get up and go with it, but it does have a good effect. So I would say, particularly if you live in the Pacific Northwest, I would encourage, or a weather system that's like that, maybe like London, I think is rainy and cloudy like we are in the winter. Light therapy lamps are great, but probably anywhere it'd be a good idea. I mean, because you can have it on while you're doing work, so it's just shining. It's like at a right angle, you know. It's not like in your face, but it's like at a right angle from where you are, and so you don't have to do anything. You just hit it, turn it on, and then you're doing your work. So it couldn't be easier to use, you know, while you eat breakfast or whatever. So I would recommend that. Someone says, what about dreams about events that happen a week, month after the dream? Yeah. I mean, I would put that in the message dream category, that your angels, you know, wanted you to have that dream, so that then probably having the dream on some level prepares you for when it actually happens. I mean, that's obviously a less common category of dream for most people. They don't even have that kind of dream consciously. But yeah, I would put that in the category of message dreams, that your angels helped you to have that, you know, as kind of a foretelling thing. Even now, feeling gang stalked. Good Lord. Gang stalked. Wow, there's an expression. 24/7 attacks, any suggestions. Okay, so I think you mean overwhelmed, and yeah. Well, I don't think you've ever done my aura repair videos. I think that would be a really good place to start. And just overall high level, you know, if you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you're under attack, there's a lot that you can do for it. It just takes a while to build up your might, you know, to like, I mean, you are a mighty and eternal being. We are all mighty and eternal beings. But if you're all beat up, it's sort of like you don't have the power that you should have to kind of be like, I am here, rah, you know. So first thing would be aura repair videos, and I probably won't link much underneath this live stream just because it takes a long time to link all the videos. So like, for you, I'll make a note to just link the aura repair videos. I will link the aura repair videos under this Q&A. So for the Q&A, aura repair. If I remember, hopefully I'll remember. But yeah, start with aura repair, get good at that. It's way easier than you think. And then grounding and blocking, and then chakra repair. Like I would say, you know, I did that live stream. I think you sat in on it. I think I remember you saying hi. So that live stream that I did today, and again, if you're seeing it later, it'll have Janet Wright. I mean, if you search Janet Wright sleep mornings, you'll find it, you know, from today, February 16th, 2020. But anyway, I'll have later today, I'll link a bunch of stuff under there about aura repair, about chakra repair, so you can get good at that stuff. Because you would need to get better, a lot better at aura repair, grounding, chakra repair. Then you could kind of be more large and in charge. Because right now you're kind of, I mean, unfortunately, you know, the universe isn't just a bunch of angels, you know, and respectful people. There's really disrespectful people because they're just so imbalanced that their natural ability to be kind and gentle is out the window, you know. So there's invasive people, but then there's, you know, invasive spirits as well, that aren't angels at all, you know. So you need to kind of get it together, you know, in order to have that strength that you need to not be under attack. Also, Wei Chi auras. You know, I'll link that video under the live stream. No, yeah, I'll link it under here too. But anyway, that's once you get regular aura repair and you've learned that, and regular grounding, unblocking, and then some chakra repair, then Wei Qi aura repair would be the next thing, because Wei Qi auras is part of your spirit that is good for boundaries. You can also, I mean, get healings from me, but like I said, I do teach all of this, so you don't need to get healings from me if you'd prefer to not and just learn it all yourself. Usually people do both. They get the healings from me and they learn it all themselves, and it just sort of supports their progress to get healings also. But I don't mind whichever what feels right for you. But the triplet sets have a lot of repair work in them, a lot of basic safety stuff, because it's a set of 3 healings. The next one, I don't know if it's sold out yet, but there were like 8 spots left early this morning when I checked, 8 or 10 spots left. So that starts, the healings are March 6th, 8th, and 10th, 2020 for that. Yeah. But anyway, that's all. To see all the upcoming healings, that's Janet at janetwrightreadings.com. janetwrightreadings.com. Someone says, I have a problem around waking up and needing a stimulant. I don't want to wake up every day and feel like I need something to wake up and function. I'm having issues with this. Okay. So again, there can be all levels, all different reasons for people being depleted, you know, from a simple chakra unblocking to, you know, something that's now very physically manifested. So maybe acupuncture and Chinese herbs over a time period would be more necessary. I think with you, it could be that way, that you've gotten to be chi depleted. I still am probably on some level, but I take herbs for it every day. So it doesn't usually feel like I'm chi depleted at all. I'm certainly less chi depleted than I used to be. I used to be pretty chi depleted, because as a healer, you can get more and more depleted, because you particularly as the level of healing that I do, if you're not really well defended, if you don't have just fantastic boundaries, it could be very depleting. So I was chi depleted, and I still am to some extent. I mean, like, I need to take herbs every day for it. But I'm getting better and better and stronger and stronger. So I think you may have actually gotten to that point where physical intervention is needed, like acupuncture and Chinese herbs daily. But, you know, you can use your own intuition and whatever. You can find a good Chinese medicine person. They don't have to be Chinese, like in this lifetime, you know. It's just there are schools, you know, I think you're in the US, there are really good acupuncture schools, Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine schools in most major cities in the US, and a lot of major cities in the US. You want someone, though, who's trained in both. Ideally, I would say you want someone who's very well trained, because there's like different training in different states, and sometimes, you know, you can just kind of dabble in it and say, oh yeah, I do acupuncture, you know. So try to get someone who has a lot of training in acupuncture and Chinese herbs, so they can advise you. So I think that might be a not a quick fix, you know, but definitely fixable. You could have your stimulants, but then start your Chinese medicine. And then as you start your Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine work, you know, then you could ease off your stimulants. I mean, ideally you'd go cold turkey on your stimulants, but, you know, you may not feel strong enough yet for that. And so maybe some physical intervention with traditional Chinese medicine stuff. If you cannot afford, or there's nobody near you that's good in traditional Chinese medicine, Chinese herbs and acupuncture, you know, you could do the GVCV stuff. I think you could get a decent boost out of that. I just think you may need more than that at this point. But that, I already typed it in the GVCV Meridian videos that I have. You could just search Janet Wright GVCV Meridian, and then start that. I think that could give you a head start as to, you know, because those are physical body meridians from traditional Chinese medicine. So if you work those just with your energy healing, that'll get you maybe 25% there. but you might need a practitioner just to get the herbal recommendations, the custom herbal recommendations, and the acupuncture. But yeah, I mean, it's a good idea to get to a point. I think it's a good idea to get to a point where you don't need caffeine and maybe don't even use caffeine. My acupuncturist is very down on caffeine. She doesn't understand why anyone would have it because she says it's so harmful. So I know, whatever. I didn't used to be able to hear that. I thought, well, 1 cup a day, whatever, black tea, no big deal. But apparently it all makes a difference. So. Hi, Janet. I wake up at 3 or 4 and can't get back to sleep, and I feel some anxiety. Is it because I am out of an astral class or because I have energy from other people in my space? Yeah, so the anxiety would not be caused by the astral class. Oddly enough, that's a family member of yours who's in the same time zone, so they should be sound asleep, but maybe they're like more of a morning person, like early morning person. But yeah, it's a family member of yours who it looks like they're trying to rein you in, like they have a little rope to you and they're like reeling you in. Um, so I would just say, intuitively, and for other people listening, just think of like the people that you could imagine wanting to try to reel you in, and just imagine, okay, do you have enough protection between you and that person? And if you don't, you can ask your angels, angels, please help me with really strong boundaries between me and that person. It could be somebody that's in your life. You don't want to get them out of your life, in that conscious way. But you can still, the angels can make like a big gold wall between you and that person. If you ask, angels, can you please give me lots of divine protection between me and that person? And that could help them, that could keep them from kind of yanking your energy system around while you're trying to get a good night's sleep. That person too, sometimes they cord into those 7th and 3rd chakra connections, and that's part of how they're doing it. But then the anxiety is just because the Kundalini turns on, and then your first chakra gets more active because they're like basically touching. They're so close to each other, the first chakra and the Kundalini chakra. So you got to turn your Kundalini chakra back off, maybe just heal them in general and keep them both nice and red and happy. And then you have some energy blocks here in the first layer that just kind of get supercharged, when these 2 chakras wake up in the middle of the night. So you just imagine your first layer right there and just kind of, it'll look like hard things pressed up against your tummy and your hips right there. And so it's just energy blocks. So you just kind of, melt them with gold light. So yeah, I would say melt away all your family members. You ask for angel protection, for boundaries between you and your family members. Heal your body spirit connections at the 7th and 3rd. Just calm back down your first chakra, turn off your Kundalini chakra. Get your red. You can even do like an earth energy soak with some red earth energy and just kind of, just to lower the vibration since you're having that sort of super active fear response. But yeah, it's like a family member plus some energy blocks plus your Kundalini chakra waking up when it should be just off for your sleep. And we did talk about that kind of stuff all in the healing that we did today. But yeah, that's, for you, it's not the astral class, it's the family member jumping in your space. And they may even be asleep, but for some reason they're just kind of hyper vigilant about your life. So you could keep doing those conflict resolution flowers with that person. There's a video that I have, resolve conflict and boundary issues. So if you search, Janet Wright, resolve conflict and boundary issues, obviously, that person knows the video. But anyway, you just give that person energy healing flowers that say like your angels can help and guide you, or maybe it's okay to let go once because that person is like really having a trouble with letting go. So you could just make it's okay to let go flowers and have your angels heal them and adjust them. And they're like rainbow colors, but just have your angels double check. and then offer them to that family member, just, at a respectful distance in front of their aura. Just lay the flowers down, say these are for you if you want. So flowers about it's okay to let go for that person. Let go of me. um, Someone says, can your seventh be too active if you can't get back to sleep? Yeah. But I think there's not much reason for your seventh to be overactive in the middle of the night except for a being or a cord from somebody else. So in your case, it's a little bit of both, like maybe one or two beings and like cords from like 4 different people. The problem is when, if you're a teacher, if you're a healer, if you're some kind of advisor, a therapist, stuff like that, you got to watch for those seventh chakra cords. Because people begin to think, some people, on some level, maybe just a little 5% of them that's pretty stuck, thinks, well, oh, they know what to do. I don't know what to do about my life or about this decision, but they would know. And so they kind of subconsciously reach out to your energy system as if like it's like some little thinking room for them, like your space. So I think in your case, it's just cords that have been there for like, since the afternoon before, and then one or two beings like sort of making trouble there. And so then it's all like this mess of like cords from 4 people plus 1 or 2 beings. So you just say, angels, can you please recycle any beings that are up here? And then just melt away the cords with gold light. And then, yeah, calm your 7th chakra back down to a nice purple. You can even make like a purple grounding cord for your 7th chakra if you think it's a real problem. But if all that doesn't work, then you probably have 7th chakra damage. But you don't. But chakra damage can be repaired, as you all know. Most of you know. My video, research Janet Wright, misspelling my own name, Janet Wright, composite copy chakras, something like that. That'll pull up the video. I usually only remember vague bits of dreams and usually forget them entirely soon after. Is there a point of trying to remember any of them? Yeah, sometimes it's kind of fun. Like, like meetings with relatives, like heaven friends, like you meet with your mom on the astral, and that might be kind of fun to remember, like, oh yeah, we sat around and had a cup of tea, and then we sat in this garden, and in the garden there were birds, and it was really beautiful, and my mom seemed much more peaceful and restored. She seemed so much younger than she used to be, when I knew her in the lifetime. So, that can be nice to like try to remember stuff. I mean, I just read something literally that happened to that commenter, but that could take time to develop that level of astral recall where you're remembering literally what happened in your sleep. But it's a fun thing to be able to do, and you, like all these things, you start small. So you just ask yourself, oh, well, did I meet with any of my heaven friends on the astral last night? And then you can just do multiple choice. Well, did I meet with my mom on the astral last night? Did I meet with my dad on the astral last night? What about my friend, who's in heaven? Did I meet with him? Or just did I take a class on the astral last night? But so it's just sort of fun. It's usually not super urgent that you remember what you did in your sleep. It's just, fun while you're putting on your clothes or something, to amuse yourself. It can be kind of a gentle, intriguing way to start your day rather than like, okay, I gotta leave the house by, just to kind of, think of some of that. But yeah, it's not like required. Someone says, wow, at 67 years old, my haha. You might know do you know somebody who's that young? And, because baby spirits can be very creative like that. And, like if you have a niece or something, and they're like campaigning. I mean, I could be wrong, but it did look like you had a few baby spirits. So yeah, I mean, maybe they're not campaigning directly for you to be their mom, but I mean, I get some baby spirits now and then, and I'm what, I'm 49, so it's too late for me to genetically have a child, which I'm okay with for sure. But yeah, baby spirits, they just, they're like, oh, what about that client of yours? Oh, or whatever, it's just because in heaven, when you're in heaven, you can see connections pretty easily. Like, oh, she's related to her. Oh, she works with so and so. Oh, so whatever. Just This is interesting. Part of my morning routine is a workout when I wake up. Well, good for you. I take a pre-workout that has caffeine, though, yeah. Per your lessons on it, I've cut caffeine everywhere else to maintain energy. I feel good. Any thoughts? Oh, I guess what you're saying is it, what about the pre-workout caffeine? I mean, it's up to you. The thing is, Kundalini is, I think, an energy that, it was interesting. It came up in today's live stream on sleeping and waking up, but not a lot. But Kundalini is something that you can, I talked about it, you have to turn it off to sleep or go back to sleep. But your Kundalini chakra, which is right below your first chakra, it's a great energy for working out, for getting your pep during the day. So sometimes when you listen to certain songs, it just gets you all revved up, and that's because it turns on your Kundalini. So you can maybe try over time to use more music or just your mindfulness to rev your Kundalini up. It's nice to get a little present first, and then, but you're reasonably present by the time you're in your pre-workout phase. But maybe do a little stretching to like a more energizing kind of song, so that then your Kundalini's on, and then, that's like motivating. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, yeah. So I think that could be an avenue that you explore more, is, getting more present with a little stretching or something first, and then the music and your intention, and you just rev the Kundalini more, and then that certainly would be enough motivation, for a caffeine substitute. Someone says, okay, thanks, geez. Okay. Trying to make sure I don't miss any. I usually wake up early, but feel fresh as a daisy. That's so cute. I've been waking up on and off throughout the night from the early hours, about 2:30, so I can be tired. Does this mean anything? Yeah. Yeah, I would say you have some boundary issues with somebody on the astral. Like somebody related to somebody that you know. So like in-laws, I would say. Well, you know, women that you know that are related to a loved one of yours. Like two or three of them. You're you can be even for people that have a big family, this can be relevant, but people like me, certainly, who have a lot of clients, or, somebody who, is somewhat of a public figure. Maybe you have a lot of therapy clients, or you teach a lot of people, or whatever. On the astral, there are more public locations, and then there are more private, exclusive locations. So you can go with your angels to like a private location where your students or your work clients or your, daughter-in-laws can't find you, literally. Or you could hang out in a place where they all know that you go, and so then they kind of mob you and stimulate your energy system too much that it pops you back awake. So I think just I think there's some level of guilt and overgiving that you have that causes you to not just automatically just get rid of all these people and go to private, super private places on the astral with your angels, just to have fun. Even if you want to hang out with a certain friend or a certain family member, your angels can find a nice astral location where just you and that one select person can have like a blast, without just all the other people that could show up and turn it into a lot of drama. So maybe just work clearing guilt first, and ask your angels and just have your intention be, I'm going to let my angels help and guide me and keep me really unbothered. um, Opinions on Brexit. um, you know, I mean, I will say that in my opinion, angels, from what I've seen, angels don't care about countries. They think that, the turfiness over, national pride and all that, they kind of roll their eyes a little bit, particularly when it becomes negative and it becomes, like phobic about people with different skin colors or different, cultures. The angels kind of always, from what I can see, kind of frown upon all that. They're much more into, compassion and sharing and collaborative stuff and, kindness, of course, all that kind of thing. So, um, turfiness, things that are sort of overly nationalistic. I've never seen the angels be really in favor of that stuff. So, today during the healing, kept on passing out and going to sleep. I've been tired lately. Yeah, I think too, your angels, they were trying to get you to clear something that you were a little too resistant to clearing awake. So what you could do is you could just use the video later, and just take a nap to it. Be like, okay, angel's fine. Let's rack it. And then you could like wake up in the, like I've done that. Like I call them like meditation naps, where you're kind of like half asleep and you meditate, and then you just go fully asleep, and then you wake up and you meditate a little more, and then you go back to sleep. I mean, that only works when you have time, to do that type of thing, but that's kind of fun. So you could have the video playing, on like headphones or, in the background, and just do like a meditation nap with your angels, and just have your intention be, I'm going to let my angels help me to clear whatever I need to clear. So yeah, I think that was angel assisted. You continually passing out. Can't we have protective angels for this? So I don't know what for this is that you were referring to, probably something I've already said. Can't we have protective angels for this? Protective angels is kind of redundant. I mean, all angels have the ability to be protective. It's just that unless you're a particularly young soul, which you're not, it's part of learning and growth to own your power and your strength, and to be regenerative and heal your own wounds. So if it wasn't a part of your path, yeah, your angels would just fully protect you and it wouldn't be an issue. But, I think you are open to your angels protecting you. And I think the issues that you do have with aura damage, your angels are like, yeah, learn to repair your aura, learn to repair your chakras. So, it's just, for a lot of older souls, it's just part of evolvement and learning to either overtly learn repair of aura and chakras, or to find some activity that does that for you. Like it could be so healing for you to be by the ocean that your spirit repairs and regenerates and does chakra repair subconsciously while you're by the ocean, for example. But I always feel like if you know consciously how to do it, then, you don't have to be in the most idyllic nature location all the time, because life can be pretty, bumpy. So it's good to be able to do pro-level healing on yourself, whenever you need it regularly. So yeah, protective angels is redundant. Angels do protect, but self-defense and strength and having strong boundaries is usually a part of people's learning that they're supposed to learn. So it's sort of half and half. I always sleep really well, but I often wonder if I ought to be trying harder to learn my angel classes. Or will they make sure I just get the lessons? Yeah, I think you're very motivated on the astral. I don't think there's any issue. Yeah. I think that callback bring in video, you could do that a little more. That callback bring in thing where you work on bringing in all the stuff from your astral classes. But I think you're definitely working well in your sleep, and I don't see any issue with that. Somebody else says, thank you. You're welcome, very welcome. I am waking from intense heat, even with the air conditioner on. So I'm thinking you mean internal heat and not like you live in a hot place in the world, but I'm not totally sure about that. So if you mean, I mean, because if you live in a hot place in the world, I can't do much with that, but um, intense heat internally, I mean, if you, that, part of that could be Kundalini, part of that would be Kundalini, I would think. So your Kundalini chakra is beneath the first chakra, and yours does seem kind of, it's got rips in it and stuff, and it's kind of a funny color. So yeah, just look up any of my Kundalini videos, Kundalini chakra, like just search Janet Wright Kundalini chakra repair, maybe that would be nice. Janet Wright Kundalini chakra repair, and that way you can start to make that nice, you know, nice and red and whole and flowing, and that way, because if it's kind of bent up and damaged and ripped, then it's hard, like it'll turn on by itself. You know, if somebody cords you there, it'll rev on, or some being cords you there, it'll rev on, or maybe some energy blocks will just rev it on. It's like a faulty machine, you know. But if you heal it and restore it properly, then you can just turn it off for sleep, and it'll probably stay off all night. And if it wakes up, you can just turn it right back off real easily if it's nice and whole and repaired. So yeah, that sounds like a Kundalini issue. Today was the first time that I experienced emotions during the live healings. Crying. It was unexpected but very appreciated. I felt very loved by the archangels. Thank you again. Yeah, you know, sometimes that happens to me too. The archangels, it's just nice to know, you know, to feel that. So yeah, that's nice. That is nice. I mean, sometimes that happens to me, but then it's odd because, you know, I'm trying to talk and I'm like, but, well, good to hear. Someone says, thank you so much. Someone says, thank you for reminding me. I do remember some dreams with my mom. Yeah. Yeah, you and she meet a lot. I would say like 1 to 3 times a week. But why not? I mean, on the astral, that's the thing. I think that's why many of us have sort of a distorted sense of what you can realistically accomplish, like in 3 hours in your evening or 2 hours on Saturday morning or something, because on the astral, you can do like, oh my God, like 10 times more in the same amount of time and easily, you know? So you can take classes, you can meet with 3 different heaven friends, you can rest, you can get super cool healings with your angels, you can like visit different parts of the world on the astral, because like any location in the world has an astral version of it. So you can like go vacationing on the astral. I mean, you can do so much in like 1 night of sleep, you know, and then you wake up and you're like, oh my God, that's all I've done today. But you know, that's just the way it is as a spirit. If it's just pure spirit, you can, it's very, yeah, it can be very rich, all that you end up doing. Oh, my granddaughter, yeah. Ding, ding, ding. 67. Someone's saying how old they are. I do have clients of all ages. So hello to everybody. I never want like one age, because I know like there's a lot of ageism in many cultures, and you know, I never want to bias. Oh, like there was this really cool question. This woman, I still have to answer it, but she asked me like, well, you know, because we were healing body parts, and she's like, well, I got 2 hip replacements in the same hip. She got a hip replacement surgery twice. You know, what can I do about that? And you know, there's really cool stuff she can, you know, because you can, just like you can change the vibration of your physical bones, you could change the vibration of some piece of metal in your hip that, you know, got inserted during surgery. So you can set that piece of metal for like love and, you know, enthusiasm. You know, you can still set it at a vibration that is, you know, for you, love and enthusiasm, you know, so you can kind of own it that way and kind of imagine the energy flow that would normally be in your body, ideally, you know, through that area, and just make sure the energy is still flowing, you know, through that area, that it's not, you know, stagnant. So anyway, different ages, you know, have sometimes different energy issues, not always, but, you know, everyone should always feel free to, you know, ask me, you know, like one of my 20 something, participants, she she's very off and on again with this boyfriend, and she feels embarrassed at telling me, but I was in my 20s having tons of not angel approved relationships. So I completely understand. So yeah, it's nice that everybody of all ages can learn and be a part of this. Family narcissists and psychopaths are difficult to shake. It's interesting. I would consider it a spiritual challenge, but I've been amazed at, you can get even like really violent, twisted people to like over time just lose interest in harassing you on a spirit level. That resolve conflict and boundary issues video, don't underestimate that. That video, the angels taught it to me. But it was like after years of not having that, and then whatever. It's like you got to be ready for a certain assignment, and then your angels will teach you something extra, So I wasn't ready to learn it before then, but that was a game changer, that video. Resolve conflict and boundary issues. So you search Janet Wright, resolve conflict and boundary. Probably that would be enough. Boundary. And then you'll find it. But yeah, it basically, even someone who's like trying to punish you and attack you every hour of every day of your life, you can seriously, and it's clean. It's not invasive. You're not putting a spell on them or any weird voodoo garbage or, whatever, because that stuff is really bad karma. You're not doing any of that. It's very like non-invasive, non-manipulative. It just, essentially, you're efficiently helping them to rebalance in very specific ways that as a side effect would have them lose interest in harassing you. So it's been glorious for me personally and for a lot of clients. I mean, it's not like there may be a little bit of maintenance involved, like every week or every 2 weeks you have to do that process with that person, but it's really worth it. But you still have to learn to repair your aura and stuff, because there could be some random person that you see in the store that tries to take a slice out of your aura, and so knowing aura repair is really good. But you can learn it. You're very capable. I've got some people who may be going to heaven soonish. Granny, an ill ex-boyfriend, and possibly childhood friend who's going wrong. Should I be doing anything while they're still here? Great question. So yeah, so if you have a friend or somebody that you care about who is maybe not long for this world, as they say, going to cross over, there are interesting things that you can do. I mean, you could do that, that resolve conflict and boundary issues video. That one actually would be really nice to do with them, because they're not trying to attack you, but the process of like that targeted way of helping them center and work with their angels is so beneficial to somebody who's going to be crossing over soon. Because not that crossing over is not difficult. Most people, even if they're kind of mostly stuck, they're still going to manage crossing over, because these big angels show up that are like special big angels, and you see them. Some people don't, but it's very rare that people don't cross over, instantly and easily. But say say Joe Blow is really stuck, but he's still going to cross over fine, because it's so easy, because these angels are giant that show up, and even Joe Blow's going to see him and cross over really fast, and it'll be great. But if Joe Blow and you care about him, and maybe so let's say you don't know how long he has, but he's got a couple months left or even a day left. If you do that video with him, resolve conflict and boundary issues video, and you give him these energy flowers, and at a respectful distance in front of his energy, and then the angels bless the flowers and change them if they need, then he might be more inspired to let go of things that he otherwise wouldn't let go of, and he may be inspired by those flowers to work with his angels more now while he still has time. And even if you do that, any little bit that you release now in this lifetime then won't burden you in your next life, because heaven is like a vacation. You're not really weighed down by much in heaven, but you get back a lot of your old burdens. You get them back in the next life, and you have to work through them. So some of them are saved for a different life, sometimes it's all carefully planned out, but so that would be a really nice way to help somebody. who, even if they don't have much time left in this life, because it's really going to help their next life, and even their next childhood, so that's nice. You can think about that. Another thing I like to mention to people, and sometimes people have come back and thanked me for it, is telepathy. Practice telepathy with that person. Telepathy is, hearing. Clairaudience is hearing. Telepathy is just back and forth talking, and I sort of lump hearing in with telepathy. So, like, if I had a friend who I knew, was crossing over at some point, maybe they have cancer already, and, even if you don't know if they're going to stay or they're going to go, sometimes cancer is just a wake-up call and they get over it for a while and have more life. But you can still practice telepathy. Just say, "Oh, good morning, good morning, Mary," and just stay present. That's telepathy, right? Where you're present, but you let your voice travel, the mental voice, the spirit voice. Just kind of the sound of that travels. You stay present, and the sound travels. So you say, "Oh, good morning, Mary," and then you wait, and then when they hear you, they say, "Oh, good morning," And so you kind of practice hearing that a little bit, and "Oh, good night, Mary." "Oh, good night," and you can say, "Oh, I hope you have a good night's sleep," or "I hope you have a good day," and just practice kind of hearing that, and at first you probably won't hear anything at all, but maybe you'll feel like, "Oh, did something happen?" So that's nice to practice now, because then if they're close to you, when they cross over, you might have a lot of grief triggered. And so it's nice to already be good at saying hi to them, so then you can kind of know that obviously the friendship still continues when they're in heaven, and you'll be already confident about your ability to say hi back and forth, which is easy. I mean, you just say hi, with your mind, and they hear you just fine when they're in heaven. It's easy. So yeah, I would say any of that resolve conflict and boundary issues, kind of flowers to help somebody, just that helps them work with their angels and let go of energy. And then the telepathy practice is fun. Internal heat, yeah. Someone says thank you. Thanks, Janet. Okay, needed this. Yes. All right, cool. Well, it's been an hour, and I think it's time for me to have the world's biggest breakfast ever. I've had sort of a chunky chicken soup already, but I want to have. I'm kind of a little OCD about my breakfast. I like having it a certain way. It's nice and healthy and protein packed and very yummy, and so I'll have that, even though it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't care. All right, cool. You guys are totally awesome, and I'm glad. Someone's saying, Janet, I'm feeling very lightheaded and dizzy, spaced out after the healing tonight. Is there a reason for this? I think you're. I think. I think you're healthy. I think your angels are just trying to get you to go to sleep. Yeah, I don't think there are any beings in the way. I don't think there's damage, because you just got that really thorough healing in it, and you were very open to it. So your chakras are whole, your aura is whole. I don't see any beings in the way. I mean, the dizzy is a little odd. Your third chakra, your physical body third chakra, does have a little bit of heaviness. So you could just, put your hand here at the front of your solar plexus, your front of your third chakra, and just, shoot a bunch of gold light in there, or gold fire, just to melt off, some caked on stuff. A lot of times, queasiness or dizziness, it could be third chakra. I mean, it could be an energy attack, but you haven't had an energy attack. I mean, you just had a huge healing, and you're sort of in that rock star time period where nothing's broken anymore. So I think your third maybe is just a little blocked, and plus your angels are trying to get you to go to sleep. All right, cool. Thank you for sharing all of your valuable insights. Yeah, sure, it was fun. I didn't know if I'd be up to one today, but I gotta come back. That healing was good. The archangels really were good healers. Who knew? All right, guys, you guys are awesome. Love you. Bye. Someone says, I missed the live stream, but I look forward to watching the replay. Yeah, the Q&As are interesting. I enjoy them very much. Good. Thank you for your feedback. It's good to know. Enjoy brunch. Thank you. Beautiful soul. I can nap now. Yay. Yeah, it's good. Oh, and if you haven't already, please give this a thumbs up so I can meet new beautiful people, that find the live stream or later as a video. Yes, cheers. Cheers. All right, so thank you so much. You guys are awesome. And the next big group healing, somebody's going to bed. Good. The next group healings are the triplet set group healings for March. Those always, well, as long as I do them, they start on the first Friday of each month. And the March ones and the April triplet set, they're both on my website right now if you wanted to look at the themes and if you wanted to purchase. I don't know how many there are left. The March triplet set may be sold out. It may have a few left. I know there were like 8 or 10 left early this morning. Spots left for the March group healing triplet set, which is 3 group healings on Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday. It's 3 within a time period. So it doesn't have the Archangel messages that the Healing Masterclass that we did today has. It doesn't have like a lot of Archangel direct involvement like the Healing Masterclass does, but it is 3 really neat healings, and so we can get deeper into both thorough general healing and also thorough exploration of the topics. Yay! And everyone's welcome to watch the live stream. So if it's sold out before you have a chance to buy it, or you just, you've been out of a job for a really long time and you can't even afford the lowest rate because it's sliding scale. But if you can't even afford the lowest rate, then, just watch and heal yourself as you watch. Everybody is welcome to watch these live streams, not just, people that have known me for years. I'm very much into the democratization of spiritual knowledge. Woohoo! All right, guys. You guys are awesome. Love you. Bye.